Hey there, guys. I'm back again. I'm so happy you're able to join me this evening. I'm stationed in Philadelphia, and I would like to tell each and every guest, viewer, and supporter, thank you. Without you, there would be no Indie Spotlight or Indie Spotlight Special Edition. I'm your host, Shayrenee, and tonight's episode of Indie Spotlight Special Edition Mondays is a special one. We have Mr. Obilo here. Mr. Obilo is an entrepreneur. He owns over 10 properties. He also owns the TLO event complex in Philadelphia and the Victorian Banquet Hall. And he's actually in the room right now, so I'm going to invite him to the camera and start the interview. Okay. Hey,
Hey, how you doing?
how are you? How's your evening going?
That's all right.
Good, good. I know you're very busy, so I want to thank you for taking your time out and having an interview with me. And we're talking about a very great issue about being an entrepreneur and owning your own businesses.
Absolutely.
So, tell me, where are you from?
Well, I was born in Montreal, Quebec. Moved to well to Nigerian parents. Moved and was raised in North Jersey. Then came to Philadelphia for college and got stuck here.
Wow. What college did you go to?
Temple.
Oh, okay. And I'm because I went to Temple too. But what was your major?
Business management, entrepreneurship.
Well, it definitely worked out, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Great, great. Okay, let me put your name here, and I would like for you to tell everyone where they can reach you at and find you at on all social media platforms.
Yeah. So my main page is Niger Boy, the entrepreneur. Is my name up there as part of it?
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm getting ready. I'm pinning it now.
Okay.
So I had to slap it in the comments so everybody can see it. There you go.
And then my business page is the Victorian Banquet Hall. Well, at Victorian at TLO Event Complex. And then my main,
And that's all on Instagram. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah. So they're all on Instagram.
Okay. So the TLO Event Complex and the Victorian Banquet Hall and Najee Boy the Entrepreneur. That's how everybody can find you.
Mhm.
Okay. Tell me, so I know you said that you own 10 businesses. Could you tell me about the businesses that you own and run?
Well, I own over 10 properties, but the business
Oh, oh, okay. I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
video. Oh, the prop. Yeah, I own a real estate portfolio. And then I have the construction company, Emo State Holdings, LLC. I
Mm-hmm.
own the TLO, the Victorian. And those are the main things that I do.
That's the main things that you do. Wow, wow. So I want to ask this question. What is some of the best advice you could tell someone who is an up and coming entrepreneur or looking to own a business or looking to run a business? What's some of the best advice you can give that person?
The main thing is being consistent. You know, one of the main things I see in a lot of people, especially in our generation, and more especially the younger generation, is that
Mm-hmm.
people are not consistent at all. They think that you're going to have this instant success. You're going to go and learn from a guru how to become a millionaire overnight without putting in any work. And it's just not realistic. Um, as many people as we know that portray all of this lavish lifestyle and all this money that they make on social media,
Mm-hmm.
statistics and reality doesn't really show that. You know, people on Instagram and tend to glorify entrepreneurialism or
Mm-hmm.
downplay what they do so that they can sell you something, especially selling a course, which is big now. But you know,
Yes.
this,
I know, no, that was a great thing you brought up. Go ahead.
but yeah, consistency. If you want to see any results in anything that you do, whether it's in a relationship or in the gym, in business, in anything, any vocation, you have to be consistent. And when you are able to exhibit that consistency, you
Mm-hmm.
should be able to see some exponential growth.
Mm-hmm. You brought up that it has become big business. We have been seeing a lot of stuff on social media about get a LLC, get your own business, become your own sole proprietor, do this and do that. And it's like telling you and trying to push you to do that and glamorize that, but they're not telling you all that comes into that. So, what is the difference from you being like a sole proprietor and having an LLC? Which one is like your business under? What would you put your business under?
Well, I'm a single owner LLC. Obviously, if we get into the technicalities of it or the accounting, so if you're a single owner, 100% shareholder of a business, then you're
Mm.
technically, unless you file as an S corp, you're technically a sole proprietor with the
Mm-hmm.
or the shield of having an LLC. But
Mm.
are you just talking about the idea of being sole proprietor or having
Yeah,
a business?
um okay. So I keep seeing everyone saying that they're getting an LLC. But is this, I'm trying to make sure that this is correct. If you make over a certain amount of money, is that when you should own, I mean, a year from your business, is that when you should own the LLC? Or is it you could be the sole proprietor or own LLC? Because I just keep seeing it all over. It's so glamorized.
Well, man, let me be careful as I answer this question.
Oh, sure.
So, well, two things. Getting an LLC is I could show you how to get your own LLC in 15 minutes. It's
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's not anything hard to do. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
it's not to knock anybody that does it as a business. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people pay for information or pay to learn how to do things that don't
Sure.
know, and it's very easy to do. Um,
Mm-hmm.
from a tax-paying entrepreneur, I often, depending on what somebody's doing, I often tell people to. Um, it all depends on what they're doing, but
Okay.
it doesn't always behoove you if you have like a small business, a small like side hustle. You know, getting an LLC, if you're making like 10 grand a year, 15 grand a year, 20 grand a year, exposing yourself to tax liability doesn't necessarily always make sense at that rate. Once you start making real money, and it's
Right.
almost impossible to, you know, move and shift hundreds of thousands of dollars without, raising an alarm, then obviously you would need to have a LLC or registered business. But then also too, I mean, there's benefits to having, an LLC or a registered company. But the main thing that people don't talk about that you have to be making for things like people always talk about write-offs. Oh, you can write off this, you can do that. You have
Mm-hmm.
to do that. If you're not making
Mm-hmm.
money, then what are you writing off? You're taking a trip. Yeah, you're taking the money out of your pocket to take a trip. You're writing it off. Doesn't change the fact that you have a business that's making $20,000 a year and you're spending $3,000 on trips or doing whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
when you have a business, you're making $300,000, you know, $400,000, $100,000, and now the IRS is taxing you on your net gain, and now the
Mm-hmm.
deductions now they start to matter. Now this $3,000 trip that you took to Miami and then talked about business one time, now you could alleviate some of your tax liability. The car
Mm-hmm.
that you use for your business, you could deduct and use to decrease your tax liability. But this is a lot of knowledge or phrases.
I'm
Yeah,
just soaking it all up. Mm-hmm.
but unless you really understand how these things apply, a lot of this stuff is
Mm-hmm.
avoided. Well, in my eyes, I don't know.
Sure, because we've seen a lot of famous people uh, being incarcerated because they did not pay their taxes.
Yeah,
um,
it's real.
do you have any upcoming events at any of your your properties, like as far as your banquet hall or the TLO complex or
Well, I personally don't host events, and
okay.
I probably do shit. We probably do maybe like 20 events a week, you know, but
Oh.
yeah, not more, sometimes less. But I personally really promote anything. I promote the business. People rent the venue.
Mm-hmm.
They have their own events. But there are, there's events that I get excited for a little bit more than others, or there's just, normal weekend, just full of baby
Okay.
birthdays.
And what kind of events excite like an entrepreneur? What type of events excite you?
Um, well, obviously, events that are going to be high yield. So, I mean, money obviously is a great motivator. So,
Okay, right.
generally, I'll be excited. Or, something that might be close to my heart. So,
Mm-hmm.
Afro beats events,
Mm-hmm.
stuff in my community like that, that'll be more exciting than not. But, I've probably held over 1,000 or 1,500 baby showers. So it's very hard for me to get excited over going to a
Yeah.
baby shower. But at the end of the day,
Wow.
I am appreciative of all my, but they do not all get me excited now.
And you held some weddings, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. Wow. So do you offer any coaching or advice to anyone?
I offer advice, not coaching. I don't have
Okay,
thought
advice.
about that idea, but I don't have the patience, I don't have the time to coach people, and I'm real. Um, I don't. Well, again, I don't knock anybody that coaches. That's a extremely lucrative business, but that's a business. I do not think that. Not even think. I know that I can't run my banquet hall business and then
Mm-hmm.
also coach people on how to open up their business. Just too much to do on.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot. Yeah,
Yeah,
that would be a lot. True.
that's
True.
the whole monster on it. Especially if you're making money doing it, it's very hard. And honestly, some of the people that make the most money in their in their courses typically don't really actively do whatever the hell it is that they're teaching, because that's
Mm-hmm.
it should supersede actual income of what they're teaching. I mean, the actual
Sure.
application of it.
Sure, yes. DIY or do it yourself is a very, very big business. Due to COVID-19 happening and how it devastated entertainment, live events, and restaurants and lives, where do you see the future of live events and places? Because you have a lot of businesses.
Um, yeah, let me think before I speak. This year,
We can always do that one later if you want.
oh yeah, well I'll be candid. I don't care. It's kind of crazy. Just to be super honest, since this year began, I've made more money this quarter than I've ever made in any other quarter before
Wow.
this ability for the city to be open. When pre-COVID, or when it initially hit and everything was shut down, yeah, it was crazy. It was catastrophic to my
Hmm.
catastrophic to a lot of people's business. I'm still carrying events and losses from 2020 into
Yeah.
2021 because I'm rendering services on deposits that I collected in 2021. But
Hmm.
it's actually crazy. I never would have thought that, you know, this lack of entertainment. Well, I mean, there's a lot of reasons why
Yeah.
it goes into it. And it's not enough time for me to get too deep into it out here. But entertainment is gonna come back, and it's gonna come back with a vengeance. People that want to go outside and be outside are going outside, and they're gonna find
Yeah.
their entertainment
The,
however they do. Um, you know, but it has definitely COVID has created, especially in Philadelphia, created a huge underground market.
yes, it did. Yeah. Yeah. A lot. I've seen a lot of private places and private events coming up in my timeline all over for months and months and months. I've seen a lot of that.
Yeah, so
Definitely, definitely.
it's created a huge market for that. But as I, a lot of venue owners, club owners, bar owners, we talk, you have to keep in mind that that void is a void, and then once the market opens back up and everyone's back open,
Mm-hmm.
your after hour or this certain venue that people are frequenting is not gonna, it probably won't sustain, you know, all of the competition,
Mm-hmm.
right.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you just got to figure out what your business model is and how sustainable it is. But people are creative, and also too, there's a lot of money in the economy. So there's a lot of people that didn't naturally have their own income that now have disposable income. So now with this influx of disposable income, you have, unfortunately, our people that love to spend money ready and willing to spend their money. So if you have a product to sell them, you're going to be doing well right now. Just uncharacteristically, like the average person that might have went into a bar and spent 30, $40, now he's spending $100, $140. So then you multiply that times how many ever people you have, and you just have this influx of cash coming to the proprietor. And that goes
Yeah.
clothes, jewelry. If you talk to jewelry, same thing. Cars,
Mm.
can't even get cars now. It's hard. It's a lot, and then the lack of. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot of factors, but it's interesting, you know.
Yeah, it is very interesting. Do you currently reside in Philadelphia?
Yeah, I'm around. I live around here.
Okay. Um, so I'm going to ask about the TLO complex.
Hmm.
What is it like when you go in there? Like, how many rooms and what is available there, and what type of services and stuff do you offer there?
There's three parts to the TLO event complex: the lounge, the banquet hall, and the loft. Um, I mean, my main business model is to provide space, for people to do various functions. You know, I don't really foretell too much. What I mean, there's
Mm-hmm.
baseline of events that typically happen here, which are baby showers, birthday parties, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, pretty much baby showers and parties are 99% of what I do.
Okay.
Just provide them with the core essentials
Mm-hmm.
what they need, which are tables, chairs, sound, lighting, ice, staff, and security.
Are you making or looking at any more properties in the future? Because I was seeing like it looked like you were renovating. It was a really nice renovation of a big deck.
No, that was the deck that was originally at the TLO event complex. So
Oh, okay.
build that. Um, I will be. I don't know. I don't like announcing stuff like this. I don't get how.
Okay, no,
Oh,
you don't
I
have to
know.
announce nothing or
I know.
anything.
Um,
You know, just
now we'll be closing on. It's. I mean, God willing, I just got the word from my real estate agent today, actually. So I put in an offer on another commercial building, a large commercial building. Actually, it's the same size as the TLO. Um, so, God willing, in 30 days, I should be closing on that building.
all right. Well then congrats then to you. Wow. Tell me about your real estate business. You have a real estate business or construction business?
Well, yeah, I have real estate, I have tenants, I have Airbnbs, and I have a construction company. Uh,
Mm.
I mean, I created my construction company to mainly be able to pull permits so that I can, because I became a GC, so I could pull permits so I could build my properties and get the permits easier. And then it just turned into a pivot play to when I wasn't building one of my properties, I could still take on work and build for customers. But honestly, when you're in the business of this nightlife and entertainment, a lot of things just don't add up or make as much sense. So you know,
Mm-hmm.
I love building. I love you know building houses and everything, but the money to me is just too slow. So I don't take on as much of the construction as I could because it's just not fast enough.
Sure. So when did you first like what was your first property that you owned? Well,
It was 20. I was
one if you remember. Go ahead.
It was on 20th and between Cecil B. Moore and Montgomery, and I bought
Mm-hmm.
that from an auction, and
Mm.
it got hit with an eminent domain. That's when the city or the city seizes a property or a part of a property or a group of properties to do something for the greater good of the community or something more
Mm-hmm.
important. So unfortunately, I was young. I didn't know shit, and I had like $115,000 dumped into this property, and they seized it, and then they gave me fair market value, which was $45,000. And
Oh,
yeah, part of the money I used was a student loan that I still pay back to this day, like every month. Yeah,
wow.
so I still have that lingering feeling in my mouth of how I got fucked on this my first auction property, and I never bought another house from an auction again. Actually,
Mm.
well, in Philadelphia at least.
Wow. Okay. Okay, wow. That's some really, really good knowledge. Seriously, like yeah, that's some really that's some really, really, really good knowledge. What would be your advice when working with other, I would say working with other bosses or other owners or other entrepreneurs?
Like if I'm on a team with others,
Like other business associates, you know.
what is my personal advice?
Hmm.
I don't know if I'm good for this question. Like I don't have any partners. I never did anything with partners. Uh,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I never had, except for like when I used to throw parties back in college. Like I had my DJ, like
Hmm.
he was like my partner in that sense. But I kind of just moved to my own beat, moved to my own drummer, worked the way I'm going to work. I don't sit around asking people questions. Okay, can we do this? Should we do that? I can't function like that. But when working with other people or other vendors, I know my lane. I know my skill set. I know what I bring to the table. So I just stay in my fucking lane, do what I got to do, and let them do what they do. You know,
Hmm.
but often what I tell people, and even in my life, I just play always to my strengths. I don't
Hmm.
go outside of what I'm good at. I'm good at this building. I'm good at building stuff. I'm good at throwing a party. I'm good at making drinks, and I'm good at just doing stuff in this lane. So that's literally all that I do. I just might change the application. Like renting an Airbnb is pretty much just like renting out a venue. Being a
Hmm.
landlord, everything is interchangeable. My construction crew is interchangeable. The venues. So I just play to my strength. I don't really step outside of what I know. I'm not going to come on here talking about medicine and politics. Now that's not me. So I don't even, I don't even look over there. I just stay in my lane, play to my strengths, and I'm just honest with myself. I think that's what helps a lot of entrepreneurs. Like when you
Mm.
understand money, when you understand that there's a lot of money out here, um, when you understand like some of the stupidest people on books make a lot of money because they just understand how money is generated, what businesses to be in. I tell people too, like, when you really start making a certain amount of income, you realize that some businesses, like not every entrepreneur makes money. Not every business is as scalable. Some businesses you literally just have to be there the whole time working on one item or one thing, and you have a ceiling to how much you make. Other business have embedded scalability, especially like venues. You have more people, you're gonna have more money. You have more liability, but there's just more money intrinsically, so you can scale it immediately as opposed to you know if you're working on a car or you're working on a head or working on a dress or something, you know, it's very specific. So just understanding that helps me, avoid things that I don't like, avoid business
Mhm.
that I don't like, avoid opportunities that people present me that I just don't think is going to make sense to me. It's like, you know, that's another thing that distracts entrepreneurs is just there's just so much stimulus. Sarah's doing this, John's doing this, Chris is doing this, everybody's making money, and it's like, where do I go? So for me,
Mhm.
this is where I'm at. The good, the bad, the ugly. This is what I
Mhm.
know. This is what I'm good at. I've sat in this lane for a long time. I didn't come out the gate making what I make now, but I've
Mhm.
been vigilant. And
Mhm.
before the word event space was even a word, before anybody was doing this shit, before you saw venues on every corner, like I was 26 and I just stumbled upon this opportunity and I ran with it. But it was a long, arduous battle, you know,
Mhm.
very long to get to where I'm at today. Extremely long. But I went.
Wow. How long have you been doing this?
I opened up the TLO August 15th, 2012. But I did my first. I started like throwing parties at Temple. Shit, first trip in like water was like 2006,
Mhm.
some shit like that. Yeah, so it was just even where I'm at now, the TLO. This was Patterson's Palace, so this was a venue. It used to be a restaurant. This was a venue that I used to throw a lot of parties in college, and then I was presented with the opportunity to get the building when they went out of business, and then kind of just ran from there. Didn't know what the hell I was doing. Didn't have the first idea of what I was gonna do, but it was just taking heed of my opportunity. You know, life
Mhm.
could look very different if the opportunity was presented to me. I was scared. I didn't want to do it. I didn't have enough money to do it. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I just knew I could throw a party, and I'd probably be able to throw a big enough party once a month or twice a month to cover the bills. But it's worth a try. I just strapped this building on my back. The loft used to be, I used to fucking live in the loft upstairs. That was my apartment. And, I rocked out.
And you know something, when you say like when you were throwing parties, that's actually, that's actually a skill set. That's literally to me the blueprint or the beginning of it. So,
Yeah.
people are like business owners or have a business owning mind or entrepreneur spirit, even when they're before they even have their properties. How difficult is it to throw a party, a successful party like you've been thrown, like you threw?
Oh, man. That's a whole nother conversation for this part. What I was making a lot of money in college. I was making six figures. I was making like, when I was in college, I was probably doing like 20,000, $30,000 a month in college, throwing parties
Wow.
during that season. I was reporting. Obviously I didn't show everything I made, but like when I did my first tax return, I think I filed like 180 grand of net income back in school. And then actually one of the most pivotal moments of my life at that time was I remember I was about 21 or 22. I can't remember. I was like 21 or 22. And all my friends, everybody was graduating, they're getting jobs, they're, getting $60,000 job a year, 70, 80, 50. And I remember I was, busy throwing these parties and it was getting harder and harder to do the events, but that's what I knew. And I had a month where I made $62,000, you know, in college throwing parties. And it was a great month. It was a great feeling to make all that money, but it was also scary because I was like, yo, what the hell am I going to do that's going to make this kind of money? Nobody that I knew that was 21 was made $61,000 in a month doing anything, no matter what they were doing that I knew, you know. Um,
Feeling, yeah.
yeah, so I was like, literally, am I gonna go backwards? Am I going to go get a job? What business am I going to open? It was just a crazy period of my life. And I know, you know, after that, so if I was 22, I opened up the TLO when I was 26. So from
Mhm.
22 to 25, it was hard because like I would, every year I would get a year older, but my demographic was a college demographic, and they were the same age theoretically, 18 to 22. But the females
Mhm.
out to my events were like freshmen, sophomores, some juniors. But as I got older, it was just harder to go on campus. I wasn't going to go inside dorms, so I needed to rely on, you know, my little brother or frat brothers or anybody else to help get the word out and promote. And it just became super and excruciatingly arduous to run that,
Mhm.
So I needed a pivot. But then, the real estate was good, but it wasn't fast, you know.
Mm.
Um, and then along my journey too, like I didn't do too many lavish things. I didn't buy any jewelry. I didn't buy any crazy clothes at that time. Every year I would make the huge sums of money and then buy a house cash. Go broke the entire summer. The college kids weren't around, so I didn't have a Philly crowd, so I couldn't throw parties. And then I'll wait for the next year. I mean, I would literally be broke as shit. I would max out credit cards. I remember I got in trouble with my bank. I would take my credit card, swipe it on my credit card reader, so I could cash out. So say if you had a $10,000 limit on a credit card, I would swipe it on my point of sale machine, and then I would deposit the money into my account, which is legal. I used to have to do anything, man. I would drive to Delaware, buy Ciroc for cheaper, and then drive around all the beauty salons and barbershops back then, selling Ciroc out of my trunk. Um, I used to be a king on Craigslist. I used to fucking do any odd job on Craigslist, moving people, painting, doing all types of shit. I was just a hustle.
That's yeah.
And then once
Yeah.
August hit, boom, I was back to throwing my dripping like water parties. And then I could come back alive, because I had the party,
Mhm.
making a lot of money again.
Wow. 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 Well, that's definitely an amazing journey.
Yeah, I feel like I never stopped.
Yeah. Say it again.
I feel like I'm still in this rat race. It's just
You're still, yeah, but you know, you're really, really successful, and that's good to see someone that it's good to, refreshing to see someone that looks like me and you that is successful and that is doing it in a great way and in the right way. So this is this is normally the time in my interview when I asked my guests if they have any questions for me. If you do,
um, like I said, I stay in my lane. Anything I'd ask would be like entrepreneurial based or business based.
Hmm.
What is there something that you have been trying to learn or trying to do? Is there like a roadblock that you've hit that maybe you can ask an
Hmm.
entrepreneur? Well, me as an entrepreneur,
Hmm.
like, where are you trying to go, especially with this platform that you have? Is there
Hmm.
something that you feel could take you to the next level, or maybe do you feel like you're holding yourself back in any capacity?
Hmm. Well, that is a good question about you said one thing about where do I feel like I'm trying to like go with what I'm doing or in the future. So I want to I've always wanted to like get my bachelor's degree or my degree in music business, music advertisement, or music media. And I hope to one day um, talk to people in person because we've been cooped up so long. We've been so cooped up so long in the house, and a lot of stuff just has been going on as far as COVID-19 and shutdowns and all that other type of stuff. So I hope to actually talk to people in person and get to, meet the people that I've been interviewing. Some I know, very few I know, and then some people I really want to go to their events and actually get to know them. But the number one thing was I wanted to find a way on how I could share my platinum with other great influencers, business owners, singers, dancers, because we have so much good stuff going on in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and in the surrounding areas, tri-state area, just the USA period and beyond. So many good people and so many people doing so many things that I don't always see like on the news or always see shown. So I said, what can I do with my platform in the beginning of this year to share that and express that and to talk to business owners and to ask them what they went through and entrepreneurs
Mm-hmm.
and artists and ask how they was affected and stuff like that so that people can see them.
I mean, it's actually crazy. I'm just getting, it's weird because I just got audited last year. Well, it was like 2 years it took. And I never would do interviews, especially when I was younger. Like, I didn't like to talk about money because it's like anytime I've seen some of my boys to get articles in the newspaper and then their whole fucking world collapses, they start getting investigated and shit. So, like, I never really was too open with talking
Mm-hmm.
about, how successful I was or how successful I wasn't until I
Mm-hmm.
did this audit. And it's just like when your life is exposed to the IRS, like talking to a normal person, it's like I could care less, at that point, especially if they're asking you a question, you're answering honestly, and they're not looking at you as they're being braggadocious or whatever, just answering an entrepreneurial question. But but yeah, as you said, I mean, being out here, interacting with people, meeting people is definitely important, definitely unique, and really understanding how different people make money, you know,
Mm-hmm.
um, will really change your perspective. Like I have multiple friends that make six figures a month, and they all do in different ways, and it's 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 interesting, and it'll open up your mind, just like in the community, how many successful little businesses that you might walk,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
opportunities that we walk past every day. Like I posted on one of my pages about corner stores. If you literally step outside the TLO, you can see one, two, like four corner stores within an eye shot and on a 2 block radius. And it just doesn't make sense that we have educated Black brothers and sisters that grew up in these communities, got educated, and still never came back to make, to even open up a corner store. And these guys, they probably do anywhere from like $20,000 to $40,000 a month.
Um, I think it. Okay. I think it pixelated a little bit. Okay, we're back now. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, like businesses like that.
I think it's
Hmm?
it's like slowing up a little bit. But I think it's back now. Can you see me? Okay.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. Go ahead. You can continue what you were saying about the corner stores.
Yeah, I mean that's just one example of a business that always stands out to me that we don't own in any of our Black or brown community. Well, no, I can't say brown because Hispanics own their corner,
Yeah, like the corner of the poppy store, the bodega. Hmm.
but it's just like we have a lot of, and typically when I talk, I get mad or I talk my shit. I really talk about my educated brothers and sisters that are, to me, as lethargic as any other class. As long as they graduated, they have a job, all is well. But in our communities, they don't own anything. As simple as a corner store. And these corner store bodega guys, they're making more money than most people that I know that have all these corporate jobs, that are accountants, that are even doctors or lawyers at a certain level. And they're just going to BJ's. They're renting a spot for $1,500 a month, going to BJ's. I think we're
Oh
pixelated.
God, it paused again. I was like, no,
Yeah.
like I don't want this interview to go out. Go ahead. You were telling me. You were talking.
No, I mean, just make a long story short, it's just like there's very simple businesses that are going on in our community that we have no control over. And they don't take any degree, they don't take any expansive mind. This is literally rent a space, go to BJ's, buy all the convenience essentials, bring it back to your community and make it a convenient store.
Mm-hmm. Um,
But I
definitely.
could go on.
So I'm sure you have a lot of knowledge. Um, and I'm happy that you were able to stop by and talk to us. But I hope in the near future that I will be able to work with you in some shape or form. I don't know in what way, but I definitely hope so.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, definitely want to get out more, speak more. I have this little dream of being this entrepreneur motivational speaker. I don't know how the hell that's
You
gonna
said
work.
you have I'm sorry, you have a dream. I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. You said you have a dream of being of what?
I want to be this motivational speaker for entrepreneurs. Just like that, no nonsense, bootstrap, shut the fuck up and go get it done. Nobody owes you shit. I don't give a fuck about where your story began. Let's talk about where it's ending. Kind of motivator. Um, and in this day and age with all these, I feel like a lot of people are just soft. A lot of people are lazy. A lot of people got a fucking excuse for everything. So I think there needs to be another voice that lets you know that, I mean, there's opportunity out here, but you need to go and seize it, and making up an excuse is not going to change, anything. It's just going to make you feel better about not accomplishing shit, you know. And I often tell people I don't think I'm that intelligent. I'm not the smartest person around. I'm not the dumbest either, but the one thing that I do know is I'll put my work ethic against anybody. I don't think anybody. I don't know too many people that want what I want more than I do. And I go for it, whether I'm a billionaire or a millionaire or not. Like, I just know as long as I'm on my team, I'll be all right. I'm going to put in the work to sustain myself to a high caliber, regardless. So even if you strip me of everything, fuck the banquet halls, the real estate, if I had to start from scratch today, I feel very confident to be all right. You know?
I could see you doing that. I can definitely see you speaking or being like a keynote speaker for upcoming entrepreneurs or trying to be entrepreneurs, especially with the guns. You know what I'm saying? Like that would definitely whip them into shape. So they definitely have to.
Speaker, I'm not that good. That's my older brother, but I could
Well,
definitely.
you own over 10 properties. So it's kind of like like when you stop speaking and the work just speaks for itself.
Mhm.
What you did and what you are doing are just like speaking for itself. So I think that actually would suit you really well.
Oh, I hope so. I can't do this shit forever. This lifestyle will kill you. You know.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
rough. It's hard.
Um, do you feel like does it so like running a lot of businesses and being an entrepreneur, does it take more of a physical strain on you or more mental strain, or is it a combination of both?
Well, the word it depends on what business you're in,
Hmm.
physicality of it. But mentally, yeah, it's a. I got gray hair. I got a camera patch.
You can't see it, but okay.
Um, nah, it feels mentally draining, and I have conversations with my friends, certain entrepreneur friends all the time, and now if you're not mentally strong, your mental health is not there. It's
Hmm.
very easy to like be depressed, you know,
Mhm.
into alcoholism, drugs. Like it's a scary world. Like sometimes you're just on your own island from, lawsuits to, you know. I'll often talk to like urban entrepreneurs. Oh shit! It froze again.
Oh, okay. It
I'm back.
unpaused. Okay, it's there.
But no, there's just so many elements to it, and then like doing business in an urban environment, there's just other risks. It's your safety,
Mhm. Mhm.
underlying issues that just come with the territory.
Yeah.
And like when you have a business like mine, like it's extremely high risk, extremely high
Mhm.
risk. Like people get killed in these environments. People
Yes.
crash,
Yes.
fight, things happen. There's a lot of money, but there's a lot of risk. It's a lot of
Yeah.
liability, and oftentimes people say, "Oh yeah, why don't you hire somebody to do this? Why don't you hire somebody to do that?" It's like when you understand the business, go talk to any urban bar owner, club owners, venue owners. They're around, not event spaces. I'm talking about like clubs and bars. They're around.
Mhm.
So many
Mhm.
cards, and yeah, it's a lot. I mean, I definitely see how. Yeah, I'm 35. I don't have kids. Like there's things I've sacrificed. You know,
Mhm.
I haven't gone anywhere. I've never been to no Jamaica. I haven't been to Las Vegas. I haven't been to Cali. I haven't been to Nigeria since like 2008. Um, it's just a lot that has been invested in
Mhm.
the journey on my end, a lot of sacrifice. And the
Except.
best
Mhm.
for me to explain it sometimes is like at this stage, after sacrificing my 20s to the grind,
Yeah.
and sacrificing
Yeah.
my early 30s, if I don't get to wherever the fuck this place is that I'm trying to get to, then it was all for naught. Like I'm in too deep. I'm like in the middle of the ocean. And it's like I keep grinding, I keep moving because it's like if I was to stop now, it's like, yo, why did you throw away your 20s? Like I literally didn't do shit. Didn't go fucking no. I could
Wow.
afford to go. And I could afford to do anything that I wanted to, from cars to
Mhm.
you know, like and all the properties I own cash. So, like there's so many things I could have done frivolous with the money. I could have had fun,
Mhm.
could have bought amazing, amazing shiny shit, more amazing shiny shit. And it's just like just investing back into this legacy that I want to leave, this trampoline I'm trying to build for my kids so that they don't have to climb up a ladder. They don't have to start from a foundation. My kids are gonna fucking when he's 18 and he got an idea, he's gonna say, "Hey, Daddy, boom, just jump on that trampoline." He's not climbing or shit, not climbing up a fucking ladder. He's jumping on a trampoline and going from point A to point F immediately. You know,
Yeah.
and that's what I had to sacrifice. But then I gotta remember I have to fucking have a kid so that he can jump on this trampoline. So I gotta get my life together so I can. That,
You know something? You know something? You still have time. I'm 35 and I will be 36 in October. And I have no children either, you know? And my mom had me like around this age, 35 and 36. So, you're still a young man. You still have time. Um, and you still have time. And I think what you're talking about is important because sometimes it's important to sacrifice uh, for your future. I've seen a lot of younger people or people in their 20s that have did what they wanted to do, but but something else happens. We all have a different journey, and I think your journey is meaningful just as much as anyone else's. But you definitely gonna get to all those places that you want to get to.
oh yeah, yeah.
All the places you want to go, all your places you want to go and take trips on, and all that other type of stuff. I, yeah.
And I definitely need to, but it is something that it's a conversation that sometimes need to be had. Um, I always use this analogy that the universe is like the baddest chick in the world. The universe
Hmm.
is always on point. The universe doesn't open the
Hmm.
legs up for just anybody. The universe is never drunk. It's never high. When you have to sow into the universe before she allows you to take. Now, every once in a while, you usually never jump your high. You'll get lucky. That's the guy that wins the person that just something, an anomaly happens. But in life, like whether you're in the NFL, people are tying into the business, and in business, these entrepreneurs that are making money, they are sacrificing something.
I'm sorry. I hear a little bit. Hello? I'm sorry. I hear a little bit of a crashing in the like little bit of crashing in the back.
Oh no, that's probably my computer.
I I can hear you a little bit better now.
No, that was the fan on my computer.
Oh, okay.
No,
Okay, I was on. I
that's
was like, oh, I'm not hearing this stuff.
no. But no, I mean, just the tune. What I was saying is just you have to give. At some point, you have to make some sort of sacrifice. You have to give some,
Hmm.
to receive. And
Yeah.
just like doctors, they're in school for goddamn it seems like forever. Then
Hmm.
residency, then they you know can go start making
Hmm.
money. Lawyers, engineers, like anybody that's doing anything great has to tie in, has to sew in. Very seldom you see people get lucky. People got lucky.
Hmm.
Yeah, just
Well,
to make a long story short, lucky is easier said than done, and then luck usually doesn't last very long.
what is there? I wanted to ask, is there anything before I wrap up the interview?
Mm.
I wish I could talk to you for a while. Is there anything else that you would like to add or to say?
Um, one message I give to people is don't listen to fucking anybody. If you know
Mm-hmm.
who you are and you know where you're trying to go, don't listen to anybody. Some of the worst advice that people get are from the people that love them the most. If I listened to my
Mm-hmm.
parents on my journey, I wouldn't fucking be the man that I am today. I wouldn't be where I'm at today. Because some certain people are gonna tell you to do things and want you to do things because they want you to be safe. They want you to make them feel comfortable. But sometimes to reach your greatness, you have to do something that people don't see. People didn't see the fucking me throwing parties. They used to, I just had people talk to me. I still see it like yesterday. People that ask me questions today, people that ask me for advice, the mentor them used to talk to me in this condescending tone that just still resonates in my mind and makes me fucking mad sometimes. They didn't understand what the hell I was doing. And oftentimes people and our people don't see something. They don't understand that you can put water into a bottle until you show them that there's water in a bottle. But there was somebody that just thought of the idea and he had it in his idea, he could articulate it. But just because people can't see it doesn't exist. Oh, that's stupid. That doesn't make sense. So one thing I never do is I never tell an entrepreneur that his idea is dumb, can't work, doesn't make sense. Because you never know what's
Mm-hmm.
gonna hit. People have been doing Uber in Philadelphia forever. When I came to Philadelphia, they had the hack man. Hack. You go to
The
corner,
Hackman,
he was
yeah.
fucking hacking. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Uber before Uber. You go to Fresh Grocer, they were giving you Uber pool from Fresh Grocer. Guy was outside with his minivan taking you. I mean, not Uber pool, just like DoorDash or whatever, taking you from point A, point B with your groceries. But yeah, sometimes it's just like you just can't listen to everyone. But this is for the extreme worker, that person that knows they're going to put in the work, the person that knows they're not going to give up, the person that's not going to be easily swayed, you know, to just listen to themselves, listen to that drummer, listen to that thing that's in the back of your head that makes you wake up in the morning like, yo, I got to go fucking get it. And the last thing I always tell people is three people you can't lie to. You can't lie to a doctor. If he runs your blood, does a checkup, he knows what's going on. You can't lie to God. You can't lie to yourself. Well, four people, and you can't lie to a bank teller. Stop lying.
Wow.
What we do in we lie so fucking much that we don't get anywhere. A lot of people just fucking lie. That's why I hate like social media sometimes is like people just lie. It's so easy to lie.
Y- I think that the reason why people don't really, they can't see what you're doing before you do it is because we live in an instant gratificated world, and everybody wants instant gratification and prestige and just doing a lot of things for show. And we see a lot of good things for show, but we don't know behind the scenes what it's taken to get it. And it's that constant journey and failing and then getting back up. And failing and getting messed up during your journey is one of the parts in the journey. If you can't do that, then you can't get the prize or whatever you're trying to get. So I think we do live in a world that's with social media and with me being seen or somebody being seen, and and stuff like that. When you ask people to get on board or to help you in the beginning, sometimes people don't want to, but then when you see that your actions are creating you success, then everyone wants to get on. Then a lot of people want to get on board and stuff like that. But you had the dream and you seen your success and you seen yourself doing this and you stuck with it. And that's why you reap the benefits.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's also too like two parts to what you said. A Well, the main thing is, well, one thing I always tell people is like, is failing part of your story or the journey? It's not,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't have to be. Like, I don't glorify failure. Failure is just, I've failed at things, and
Mm-hmm.
um, that was part of the story. Sometimes
Yeah.
I tell people, especially entrepreneurs, that I say this thing, I said, expedite your failure. And I'm like, oh, what does that mean? It's like sometimes if you don't try something,
Right.
then you won't know if you like it or not. Like, I hate fucking food. I hate restaurants. It doesn't make sense for me. There's billionaires with restaurants and food, but it doesn't work for me. When I opened up the TLO, the let out, it was a late night diner. It was supposed to be food. I used to fucking cringe every Thursday when I had to open up the diner. I expedited my failure though, but I didn't like research forever. I didn't spend 2 years trying to plan out this business. I tried
Mm.
it. I fucking
Yeah. Delayed doesn't mean denied. And just because you might sometimes, like I had failed like a test a lot of times when I was going to college, but finally, as I get familiar with it, as I study more, as I keep on at it, you eventually pass. I know that IG only gives us 60 minutes to talk, and we're getting ready to run out of time. But I wanted to thank you, Mr. Obilio. I hope I pronounced that right.
no.
For
Sorry.
stopping by and giving stopping by and giving us all the good entrepreneurial tips, and also motivating us, to be proactive and self-starters, and to believe in ourselves when creating something. And thank you to all of the viewers.
Yeah,
Thank you to everyone.
hope they learned something. Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, this was fun.
Well, I want go ahead.
No, I was just saying this was fun. I appreciated being part of your
I'm
platform and you getting me to talk and come out of my little shell.
we can get some- I do. That's like one of the things that I'm pretty good at, and that I like doing, and I like showing that someone that looks like us and where we're from has done something successful. Because I'm tired of turning my TV on and looking at Shark Tank, and I'm looking at things and people that ain't relating to me and is not where I'm from. And then when I see someone where I'm from, and I'm like, oh, I want this person to talk. I'd rather have that person talking about owning properties.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
it's here. It's not as hard as we think. And that's the last thing I'll give people. Don't over glorify people that are doing certain things. The only difference between me and somebody else is that I fucking did it. That's it. Like
mhm.
I stuck with it. I'm not tell people I'm not any better. I'm not any taller. I'm not more handsome. I just do shit. If I say I'm gonna do something, I go ahead and do it. And that's that first step. Take the first step, and then every day waking up and taking that same step. Always.
Great, great. So that means stick with it. So, like, stick with it. and do what you have to
Exactly.
do and stick with it. But I'm okay. So now I'm so now I'm really running out of time. Thank you, Mr. Obilo, for coming through, and thank you everybody for watching. Thank you guys. Have a great night.
All right.